Music as a career choice was the farthest thing on our mind at that point. Because in those days, if you're a professional musician, you play in a cabaret. You play in a nightclub. And mostly the nightclub musicians were Malays. And Malays are quite a talented lot. I had never ever thought of becoming, I was never a professional musician in the true sense of the word, because I was a teacher. In those days, Jimmy Boyle was a teacher. Most people had a job. They were working in the telecoms, like Edwin Rajamani and gang. They were also having other jobs. And then they played music more as a semi-professional. It was a more paying hobby. Right, if I go and play football, I don't get paid. But here, we go and play for a birthday party, also we get $50. So it all started more as a semi-professional for people like us. There was nothing really planned, there was no career guidance and nothing of that sort. There was no studies in music available. And it was only the affluent people who had pianos, and their children learned the piano and became piano teachers. And that's about as professional as you could go in music in those days. Although we come from more aggressive cultures, but we have softened down in Malaysia because the mainstream culture, the definitive culture, is still the Malay culture, and Malays will sit at night and play keroncong music. When I was a hostel boy in the 50s, we used to go to just about 200-300 yards away from this one. We had this Malay group. It's the Ghazal. Johor is famous for Ghazal. The patron was the owner of the ferry. He was a rich man by those days' standards. And in his garage, the band will be playing, and they go on till late in the night. Keroncong, Ghazal. It's like part and parcel of the Malay culture. The Chinese schools too played their part more as part of the formal one. And probably it's because I think it is Confucius who said that you're not really a learned or educated person unless you can play chess, do poetry and music. So that means he was talking about a well-rounded education. And the Chinese schools still today pay a lot of emphasis for developing music in their schools. Tamil schools, they were in a different world. They were still in the music world of India. Movies, Tamil songs. And they were quite divorced from mainstream culture. Mainstream culture was still English and Malay. In social functions, it's either Malay music or English music. And if it happens to be a Tamil wedding, I've played in a Tamil band, guitar, and I've performed in Rubber Estate for a wedding. And we play only Tamil songs. So if you analyze back in the 50s, we were still quite compartmentalized, in the sense that the Malays had their Ghazal and Keroncong and the P. Ramlee movies and so on. The Indians had their movies and they had their bands and so on. The Chinese, they had association bands, and the Chinese association bands were used for Chinese funerals. And they all coexisted. But the real mixture of this came about more from the English educated guys. Music reflects what is a society at any point in time, the development, the instruments we use. And I'm very lucky to have lived through this period, We were the first to sing Negaraku and to see Keroncong bands, Ghazal bands, go and dance in a cabaret and listen to rock and roll blooming. It is amazing. I sometimes do not believe that I've really actually lived through such a long period of exposure. It's a privilege, and God has blessed me with that privilege, you see.